Hey guys, it's Mike and Matt. We're doing a special live show at the Philly Punchline on October 24th.
Right, that's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't have to say it like that. It'll be a
it was
weekend
more like,
Sunday.
plan your week accordingly, right?
Yeah, well, it's a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock show.
Right.
It should be a lot of fun. You can get your tickets at phillypunchline.com, and we hope to see you there. We're going to have some guests with some Philly comics. We'll be talking Philly crime, and you should be there.
Yeah.
phillypunchline.com. And let's start the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another special installment of The Sit Down. Today we're talking about Boston, the city by the bay, by the ocean. I don't know.
Yeah, the only city by the bay.
Well, we haven't talked about Boston yet.
Yeah.
And we got a very special guest. We're here with the head writer of... Oh, you're not?
Just a regular one.
He's got a head.
I do have a head.
A regular writer.
Writer with a head.
With a head.
I thought you were a head writer.
Nah.
Well, I believed it.
Thank you. I appreciate your confidence in me.
Yeah. Josh Gondelman's here talking to us.
Writer.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. Welcome.
I'm not the head. I like that we didn't even say what I'm not the head writer of. Just like, just know he's not the head writer of anything.
This guy's pretty smart.
Head writer of Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. Isn't that the show?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, Josh and I go way back.
We do.
Yeah. But today we're talking about Boston. We're talking all things Boston crime today. And I think that's going to be fun. And Matt sent me an intro, and I didn't realize that Matt did a bunch of research on Boston crime. I didn't realize that he had like a dossier on you in the intro.
Oh yeah.
And he was like,
oh yeah,
Josh Gondelman, 6'4", 6'1", graduated, and then you wrote that he's Jewish.
Yeah, you should have seen the notes before. You're like, yeah, just send me what you got before. I'm just gonna shoot it over to Josh. I was like, okay, and just delete. It's like everything.
Yeah.
No, that's just from Wikipedia. Who knows if that's correct, right? Did I?
Oh, it was very clearly copied and pasted from Wikipedia.
Yeah, I guess mostly because I read it and I was like, oh, mostly my credits don't include my parents' names, first and last.
Yeah, but who knows if that's gonna come up? You never know.
But they got it right. Whoever edited that.
Yeah, he wrote like where your father worked and everything.
Wow, that sucks. You can't look to see who edited it.
I know. I think you sometimes can, right? Doesn't it track?
If you're the subject, you should be allowed to see who made all the changes.
I feel like I should also be able to make some changes. There need to be some changes on my Wikipedia page.
Well, Josh writes for last week tonight, and you have an Emmy, right?
I do.
Yeah,
we just won. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Was
Congratulations!
that your first one?
Third.
Okay.
Crazy.
Holy shit!
Thank you.
Do you need any shelves built? This guy is a shelf master.
Oh, Josh knows.
Yeah,
okay,
you show me the shelves. They're awesome.
Yeah. Great.
I mean, thanks for whatever. I mean, any fucking idiot can install a shelf. but that's one of them right there. I'm working on a little workbench. I showed that.
I could just
Josh.
picture you like showing off in your place. Like there's 3 Emmys, but you're not showing off the awards.
Just like I made a shelf. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is a shelf that
Imagine like I build a shelf for Josh and I'm like, you could put your Emmys on here, Mr. Gondelman, and the thing fucking falls off the wall. Dents his Emmy.
Just like the balls could get detached from the hands.
Just never talks to me again.
You said any idiot could do this.
Oh, I guess I'm not any idiot, Mr. Gondelman. You know what, Josh? Don't worry. I'm gonna take care of this. I just steal someone else's. I steal Colin Jost Emmy and put it in Josh's house.
This says his name on it. This is the worst thing to steal.
Yeah, I stole Kenan Thompson's Emmy. Well, it's kind of you got the same name.
Yeah,
put a piece of masking tape
Sure,
over it.
sure.
Yeah. This is equivalent.
You just take it to a trophy shop and try to get them to fix it for you.
Josh, you know what you should do? Next time you see a homeless person asking for money, you should give him your Emmy. Just see what he does. See if he wants it.
There's probably less. It's
Man,
probably,
I don't want this fucking. What the fuck is this shit?
They're heavy, and I don't know that they're worth much money. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's like, man, I'm hungry. What am I going to eat it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just inconvenience a homeless guy.
Right.
Let's
and it's like
let's eBay it right now.
Yeah,
Let's
if
see
you
what it
did
goes
put it
for.
on eBay, it's like everyone would be like, "Oh, this ungrateful prick," but it's just like, no, I just want to know how
I'm
much
falling
it's
on
worth.
hard times.
Yeah.
You're right. We just
You
wanted
just
to find
back out at the last second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just wanted to see what you regular losers would pay for an Emmy. I get somebody they're knocking shelves over.
All right, let me just see. Because, I doubt there's like resale value.
Yeah,
There's definitely a resale value. I mean, like Super Bowl rings go for a lot. I get there's like a lot of precious metals in them, but like this is a huge award, you know? So
Yeah, what is it made out of?
I don't know. They made like a mini documentary about like how we make the Emmy, and I was like, I could not care less.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna like try to make one at home. Just like, honey, look what I made.
Yeah. I always start like autistically watching those things. Like I think I'm gonna care.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
Yeah.
I was like how to make plywood on one thing. I watched that recently, and it's like they have the log and they take it off with a razor blade. It's like, I don't need to know this.
You're gonna go buy the wood. You're not gonna make your own wood.
No, but sometimes like you would be surprised what people make themselves that you could just buy. You know,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they make all kinds of jigs and tracks
oh
for the
yeah,
song.
woodworking
sure,
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, woodworking stuff. But it's like this guy made it like a 30-minute video on how to make like a big clamp, and it's like for what you spent doing this and making it and editing the video, you could have just bought.
Right. How
one.
much is a clamp? It was like $8.
It was like he needed like a deep clamp.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So it was like $100, but still,
That is a lot.
you definitely spent
Right.
more than 4 hours.
yeah,
on
the
thing,
time to
so,
make the clamp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
The
mostly
time
a
to edit the
woodworking-
video.
this is gonna be a woodworking podcast very soon.
Paid $500 to the video editor.
Yeah. I want to get this up tomorrow. Can we just get this going fast?
I'm gonna go back in time and teach myself how to make a clamp. So it'll all be worth it.
No, actually, Matt researched this episode very extensively, but I do want to say that I was researching, and then Deborah came home, and I don't want to brag, but I did take my shirt off, and she goes, "That's Lyme disease on your stomach."
Yeah, classic bullseye pattern,
Yeah.
about the size of a quarter. The person you were talking to on the
I
phone.
mean, we haven't had sex in 18 months, and I thought it was finally going to happen.
you had your
You
little.
thought you were going to impress her with your Lyme disease?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike
that?
doesn't have a landing strip. He has a bullseye.
You want to know how I got this Lyme disease? It's like a scar or something. It's from there is a guy that works at the moving company who like he tells everybody he got shot with an M16 and he shows everyone the hole in his knee. And he's like, yeah, you see that? I got shot with an M16, but then that's the same reason why he can't do stairs. So if you get stuck on like a job with stairs, you have to go backwards. He's like, yeah, my knee's fucked up because somebody shot me.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Was that
All right,
in
fine.
battle or was that a shooting range M16? Because that's all I think
Just
of.
like a regional dispute.
Yeah.
Just kind of a friendship
Yeah.
gone awry.
'Cause that matters. That really matters.
No, I think somebody shot him.
Like
Anyway.
a friend or like a
What?
Or foe.
Friend or
I guess after they shoot you, you're probably not friends anymore.
Right.
It's only friendly fire till
Right.
it hits you.
Right.
And you're like, you're my enemy now.
Yeah.
Right. We're gonna shoot Matt on the Patreon. We're losing subscribers,
Yeah.
so we got to do something.
Yeah,
We
I'll
lost.
apologize to you like your name is Dick Cheney.
Yeah. I mean, you could shoot me in the pinky or something. I don't think I would
I
care.
feel like we'd have to live stream that, really juice it.
Okay.
I don't know. We just do it randomly.
All right. So anyway, I take my shirt off, and Deb's like, she's like, you've Lyme disease. So we had to get that checked out. And I'm like, all right, well, Josh is coming over and, he's got a big social media following. So let me just do it later. She's like, no, we have to go now. So I go to the doctor's and I'm in and out in like 10 minutes. And the guy looks at it and he's like, oh, yeah, that's some fungus. I'm going to give you like a cream.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't have health insurance. So it's $125 for a visit, for the doctor. So then he's like, oh, I'm going to prescribe you a cream. So I go and get the cream, and the lady shows. She's like, oh, it's actually over the counter. So I don't see the box until after I pay for it. And I'm walking out, and it says athlete's foot cream. I spent $125 for the guy to give me athlete's foot cream.
Yeah.
And to tell you you have athlete's torso.
Yeah.
You have athlete's chest.
You have athlete's gut.
Yeah.
You have athlete's man
Athlete's
tit.
tummy.
All right, so you're just gonna rub this on your man breast and
Like an athlete.
like an athlete.
would. Yeah.
It's like they never do that with football injuries. They're not like he's got a ruptured titty, a ruptured man titty. You a sports fan?
I
Patriots
am
fan?
a sports fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little off the NFL. I'm always like in and out of the NFL.
Well, probably your job, you're not allowed to enjoy anything.
No, it's everything. You're just like, oh well, that kills somebody. Yeah. But big NBA fan. So I'm like excited. I'm doing fantasy this year for the first time in a long time.
Nice.
But I kind of keep one eye on the NFL still.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm a very just like towny local Massachusetts sports fan still.
Very cool. Very cool.
And what part of Boston are you from?
I grew up out in the suburbs in Stoneham, and I lived in Allston, Brighton, and then like Somerville, just outside the city for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that near West Roxbury at all?
West Rox, not that close.
Okay.
But it's not. And Allston and Brighton are pretty close because those are still like within the city limits, like Roxbury. And
Okay.
But yeah.
I have like a connection to Boston because my aunt lives there. My brother went to Emerson. My cousin went to BU.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you know what else there is there? There's a lot of crime. The theme of this show. So I'd like to start our story, our saga, in a little place called Charlestown. Charlestown is the I don't know, they call it sort of like the bank robbing capital of the, for some reason it's sort of like a breeding ground for professional bank robbers where older people kind of impart their wisdom on, you know, the younger bank robbers, and a lot of the robberies that are committed in Boston, those people come from Charlestown. Have you ever been to Charlestown?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know Chris and Dave Walsh brothers? Really funny dudes. Are from there, and
Maybe.
yeah, they're great guys. Very funny.
Do you have anything negative to say about anyone?
I mean,
You probably do when you're off mic.
yeah, more off mic.
Yeah,
I can do it
yeah.
more off mic. But I wouldn't bring up my friends just to
Yeah,
Have you ever been to
right.
Charlestown? Oh yeah, my friends Chris and Dave, those motherfuckers.
No, you're very positive.
I
though.
am. That's
Yeah.
true also.
You probably have a room in your house where
right,
stuff
scream.
gets real dark.
Yeah. I just go in, I knock a bunch of Emmys off a shelf and I scream.
yeah. You fake it. Yeah. So I was actually this place is kind of interesting because I was Google imaging Charlestown, and I expected kind of like some dumpy like working class neighborhood, but it's actually like kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's like gentrified a lot. There's also like a lot of history there. Not to say like gentrifying is the only way a place can be nice. Like any place that doesn't have a Starbucks in every corner is a shithole.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of history there. I think there's like it's one of those places you can go see an old boat from like the Revolutionary War.
Right.
Yeah, some of that old boat shit.
Yeah.
And
in the Revolutionary War, there was just like one guy with a boat, and that was the Navy. Like, they were like, "Yeah, we borrow your boat, Ed. We got to fight the British."
you're not gonna have a party on it, are you? Like, no.
Not this time.
Way worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. It's like very up and coming. My sister was looking at apartments there
Oh yeah.
and didn't end up moving there. But
Okay.
not really much of a story.
Where did she live? What's your address?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what's funny is like you travel for comedy, and because I went to Boston recently, and where was I? Somerville.
Oh yeah.
My cousin lived there when he was like in college, and people were like, "Oh yeah, Somerville is like gentrified now."
It is, yeah.
So the thing I said on stage, I was like, "Well, if you're white and you're getting gentrified, like maybe you should move your family to the ocean." And then I said, "You stupid Mick," because that's fun. It's fun to call people. It's really fun to call people.
No,
Micks.
that is fun.
No
Yeah,
one gets hurt,
Right.
And you get to, you know,
Racial slurs against various groups of white people is like is a good time.
which proves my point that racism is just fun. You just can't you can't use it on vulnerable people,
Right.
But guineas, mix.
If all other things being equal, it's fun to make fun of people. You just can't because of like history and
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So pretty soon you're gonna be able to hopefully say what you want.
So your ideas will have so much progress in America.
Right.
The goal is to make it okay to be racist.
I'm gonna be ahead of my time.
Like there's gonna be so much equality. I can do a Chinese accent without anyone getting offended because like we're all equal.
Right.
It's beautiful.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope it's in my lifetime.
I want to live in that world. Yeah.
So maybe I can win an Emmy.
Yeah. A TV award for fixing the world.
Well, no, because I was just in my truck the other day and I was doing an impression of like just like I do this impression of like a Puerto Rican girl at a bodega.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the way they're like, "Yo, why is soda $2? Like, fuck out of here." But I could only do that. Yeah, all right, I'll stop, Josh. But I can only do that on my podcast. I couldn't do that in a room anywhere because, you know, it's like It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, you want to get asked back wherever you're going? Sure. Yeah,
but it's funny. It's funny when they like yell at bodega people.
Right.
You know?
Something about that confidence. Talking to an authority figure like that, like a guy that works at the bodega, telling him where to go.
All right, we can move on to something else. But anyway,
if the things ever stop moving at any point, just feel free to dump on me. We can move on.
Spit on him. That's why he's here.
Yeah, our Patreon, somebody's donated $50 and he's supposed to throw mayo at me and text it to them personally. Well, it's a monthly. That's
$50.
Yeah, it's $600 a year.
Do you have to throw mayo on him every month?
Yeah, actually, he is overdue.
Right. I mean, it is a new month.
Deborah, get me some mayo. You're right. It is a new month.
So
October 2nd or Mayo's Day. St. Mayo's Day.
No.
What? Oh, yeah. I was just asking you to get me some mayo to throw at Matt. Because we have to throw mayo at him.
And she's walking away.
Yeah. Seems sensible.
But you travel for comedy. Don't you kind of feel like America's getting gentrified?
Totally.
It just feels like the whole country is becoming this sort of like a big strip mall almost.
Absolutely. Everything. It feels like the kind of like culture is getting really uniform in a lot of places, which must just mean that like people are getting pushed further out.
Yeah,
right?
where are they going?
Right, because it's not just like, everybody lives in that bank now.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't do that. You know what I mean? It's like, 3 families live in that PF Chang's. Like, they don't. So they just moved. Like, everybody's going to move. So, but yeah, it is. It's like a weird thing that like you go to a city and you're like, this used to look different than that one.
Yeah.
And now it's very similar.
Yeah, I also feel like New York is changing in that way where it's like you used to like walk around, you'd see a guy like covered in birds, and you're like, oh, that's Fred the Birdman or whatever. But I don't even think that guy can afford to live here.
Yeah, you had to move to Jersey.
Yeah. He's like works at Walmart now.
Yeah, there aren't even...
His birds don't see him as much because they're like, at first when he moved, he was like, yeah, we'll hang out. It's not that far. It's just a short train and bus ride. But they don't come.
Yeah, and he doesn't come back in the city. He's busy.
Yeah, he's busy.
This is a really sad story. I feel like we should call Bruce Springsteen with this and be like, hey, dude, song this shit.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff going on over here.
And he doesn't have his birds.
How great would it be if you could just come up with a sad story and then like pay $25 and Bruce Springsteen would make it a song?
The Fiverr version of Bruce Springsteen. Nobody cares that you thought of it first.
The gig economy. Yeah, I'll write you a sad song. But I feel like I've been coming to New York since I was like a kid, like since the 90s. And like you would come to New York and it was kind of scary and you would see weird stuff. You'd guarantee you'd see something weird or, it'd be like, oh, yeah, only in New York. And comics would joke about it too. Like, oh, I saw a guy naked at the M&M store or something like that. Yeah. And it's not really.
Yeah. It's like, I did see a guy, I saw a couch on the street. And I was like, I'm going to give that a wide berth. I don't want bed bugs. And then there was a guy lying on the couch jerking off.
Oh.
And this is like in Gramercy.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this guy is making a real one-man effort to reverse gentrify. Right? This town. But I was like, it didn't even seem like...
Giuliani missed that guy, I guess. Forgot to send him on a bus.
He's been dodging him for 30 years.
Yeah.
But I saw that guy and I was like, if I lived on the street and had to find a place to jerk off, I don't think old couch on the sidewalk is the first one I would go to.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Right. It's like, was Popeyes not open?
Yeah.
That's funny. But I also feel like, so we're talking about bank robbers, right? Everybody from this one town. It feels like there's not as many bank robbers anymore.
No.
Because the technology to get caught is so much.
And now everybody's doing identity fraud kids these days.
Right. Is not like, it takes a little bit of courage to rob a bank.
Totally.
Right?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you rob the bank successfully, especially if you don't hurt anybody, you should get to keep the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should just be a rule.
Yeah.
An incentive to keep people alive.
Yeah, right. Nobody gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You guys get to keep the money. It's like, hey, man, good for you.
Right.
You did. It's really hard.
Right.
We've got cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like go to the Halloween store and buy a mask.
Right. You got to have a bunch of friends that can all commit to showing up on time.
Right.
It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
I've seen Baby Driver. There's tension.
That's funny. Yeah, like what the hell was I going to say? Yeah, but now like identity theft is you just get someone's car and you can empty their bag.
What's fun about that?
Yeah, you're gonna steal somebody's money through the computer.
Yeah, I guess the fun part is having all their money. That's I'm answering my own question, but it doesn't.
The fun part is going on to Target.com and getting some picture frames,
getting stealing everybody's identity from Target because of that hack, and then getting picture frames.
But that's the funniest thing too, when someone like robs a bank and then you'll see them online, like posing with the money and stuff, and they're like, "Me and my friend just robbed this bank."
Yeah, that's you can't be an influencer if you're also a bank robber.
No.
Like hashtag spawn. You're like, this is sponsored by Bank of America.
Right.
I mean, kind
of. So the funny thing about Charleston is Charlestown State Prison was there, and I guess a lot of people ended up moving there because they had family members who were in prison, and they used it to take advantage of the visiting stuff.
So they would move to be close to the family in prison?
Close to the family in prison.
That's really like sweet and kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a town based on the economy of the prison almost.
Yeah, but they don't even, it's not even jobs. It's just like proximity.
Right.
Man. Yeah, that's... Bruce, we've got a second song for you.
Right. I mean, I live up in Queens, and like I went to like this diner like really early in the morning, and this lady was like talking about all the jobs at Rikers that are going to be going away, and like she's like
they're closing Rikers.
Yeah, she was just freaking out.
Like, solitary confinement. That's one guard per cell.
Yeah.
In this economy, you can't afford to lose that.
Right. Like it was this awful thing, and it was
that's bonkers.
Yeah.
But what are they doing? They're closing Rikers.
I mean, I don't know the big deal about it, but
yeah. So
I think over a period of years they're closing it.
Okay.
I don't think it's like closed, and I think they're finding other places for the people that are there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
New great jail jobs popping up all over.
Yeah.
Somebody's uncle like, I heard De Blasio just going to release everybody onto the streets.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? It's not the world I'm going to live in. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, it seems good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to close that prison.
Sure. Prisons are not good.
Yeah, they're not great.
Generally.
But I think it's so interesting about like a city completely founded on,
just being close to the prison.
Yeah, visiting your relatives,
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the funny thing too. Like it really feels like people want to act like, oh, you can do whatever you want in life and you can be whoever you want to be, but like you really are kind of limited in the way that like everyone's a product of their environment and everybody just kind of does what they see other people doing. And it's not like if you want to figure something out or be something that no one else is, that's easy to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's like if you grow up around like woodworkers or you grow up around whatever garbage men, that's probably what you're going to end up doing. And it's hard to ascend class or to break into something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you're unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
Like, what do your parents do?
My mom was a teacher and was a director of a small school, and my dad was a glazer, which is like glass and aluminum storefronts.
Okay,
nice. So yeah, he worked in
Nice.
Yeah, but it's they were very. My dad was very conscious of like, yeah, you don't want to do this.
Right.
And he was like immensely proud of the work that he did. He was like, we'd drive through the city and he'd be like, oh, I did that building and it's really cool. But he was also just like, yeah, it hurts. It's like physically not a good thing for your body to do. So don't do that.
Right.
But like not everybody has that kind of opportunity.
But at least what he did was something tangible.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I like have a lot of admiration for it. I'm like very bad at that kind of stuff.
Right. But I kind of feel the same way too. Like I always had a respect for like kind of blue collar guys, like people who worked with their hands and built stuff. And I think my mom did. I think my mom was a little horned up for guys that came into our house to do, because my dad never did anything.
Yeah.
So she was like, I have a lot of respect for these, plumbers. And I think my mom just wanted to fuck a plumber.
Yeah. And your dad's like, who do you think earned all that money that paid for that plumber?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of how I feel too, Josh, where it's like I have nothing but respect for those men and women who do those jobs. But there is something in me that's like, oh, I want to do something more. than
Yeah, I
drive a truck full of building materials. No offense to the people who do that, who are all our listeners and all our Patreon subscribers.
How do you think they make that mayo throwing money?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. You know, I got just picture them with their financial planner. They're like $600 a year. Is this like necessary?
Yeah.
No, that's for sure cost.
But it's just a weird thing because obviously the world needs those jobs.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yes, definitely. And it does feel weird to be like, oh yeah, I want to do this thing that like at the end of the day I've helped no one.
You're talking about comedy?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I used to teach. I taught preschool, and even when I was doing that, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm making a little bit of a difference, but you know, the hours are not ideal, so I'm out.
Why were they long? Or
It was just, yeah. I mean, it was like a lot. It was very tiring, and it's one of those things where it's like it was a good job. I felt like it was like a good thing to do. I enjoyed doing it, but it was like, well,
Did you ever tell people you taught preschool and they go, oh,
yeah,
okay.
sometimes it breaks like 50-50 because sometimes people go, oh, that's cool. There's not a lot of men in that field. And then other times people go, oh, there's not a lot of men in that field. And the ones who are pedophiles, I've heard. Right. Cool. Thanks. Just trying to teach a child to read.
Yeah. How long did you end up doing that?
Thanks for putting that on me.
Yeah, right. What indication did I give you of that?
Right.
You know what I find? People who imply other people are pedophiles are often pedophiles.
He who smelt it.
The guy's head just explodes. Yeah.
That is an old saying about pedophilia. I was a head teacher for 4 years in Boston, and then before that I was like an assistant and stuff. That was always a summer job. I was a headmaster.
Josh wore the robe and the
Dumbledore.
wig.
Yeah. I thought I was administrated all of Hogwarts. It's very cool.
Nice.
But it pays garbage.
Oh, that's
education,
too
you
bad.
know, yeah.
You'd think.
I did get all the robes I could wear, which was one robe. I don't need many more robes.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. All these, and then you could have like a fake job where you work in finance or something,
Totally.
and you don't. Your job is literally to rob people, and you get to have nice furniture in your house.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's weird.
I had to
work out.
part of it. My last year of teaching, I was like, okay, I will never be able to retire if this is like what I do my whole life, and that's like something I need to know or reckon with, like at this point. And so when I moved to New York, part of it was like, well, we'll see if comedy works out, and if not, plan C. When you go back to plan C, because like my plan A.
What
was
is your plan C?
My plan C is identity theft. It's so easy, anyone can do it. Yeah. But yeah, that's what it was. It was like my plan A was not any better. Like my day job was not more lucrative than comedy at that point.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. If I was gonna put a heist together, like Josh is like the guy in the Heist movie where it's like I would have him do all the public relations stuff. Like you would give people the speech being like, we're not here for your money. We want the bank's money, and everything's going to be fine. And if you guys just don't say anything, and if you move, I'm going to put a bullet in your head. And I'll kill your kid right in front of you. I don't even care.
I feel like I would be good at that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd keep it upbeat.
Yeah, for sure. For
Right.
sure. I feel like a lot of people might reach into their personal wallets and be like, you know, I like this guy.
I'd be like, no, I couldn't. We can't take tips.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
It's like a crew rule. We
Like
can't
a
take
Home Depot
tips.
employee. Yeah.
No, this is FDIC. Come on. That's your money. Yeah.
But then if somebody like sneezes, he's like, who the fuck? Who fucking sneezed? What the fuck did I say? The guy's like, I have allergies. I'm sorry.
No, just cool. Everybody's cool. We're all cool.
Yeah, but actually, that's the thing I was thinking about. Where okay, so you look at heists and bank robberies, right? So what is it that makes people? Because if I'm in a bank, you know, some guys come in, they have guns, they have some cool clown masks or whatever,
Boston accents.
whatever the style is
Yeah, I
nowadays.
I think that matters.
Boston accents, clown mask. That's a scary combination.
Right, that's just
You hear that, you know you're gonna die. You're like, they don't even want the money. They just want to kill a bunch of people in a bank.
they just want an excuse.
Yeah.
Like, go Pats. Fucking interlock your fingers behind your head.
But I think like I don't know, like what maybe every heist does need a Josh Gondelman. Where
I've always said that. Sorry,
every bad organization needs, like ISIS or or the IDF.
ISIS needs just one Jewish guy.
Just like, look, just to do PR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just really passionate.
You do have a way of like making people feel good,
Thank you.
The way you talk to people, I
appreciate that.
You're like, this guy's listening, this guy cares, and this guy respects me.
Right.
Which is what you want in the heist PR.
Right. And I'm like, oh, all right, maybe it's fine to cut journalists' heads off. I don't know. I mean, he was nice.
What
nice
were
to
they
me.
writing?
Right. Yeah. I feel like you'd also be a little apologetic too, so it'd be easy to fall into like, you'd be like, look, guys, I'm not happy about it either, but we had to execute that soldier because he was on our sovereign soil. And then just be like, no, okay.
Yeah.
We're seeing it
well,
from
thanks for talking to me, and death to America, and goodbye. I think America's the great singing, and
anyone's ever on a phone call said "death to America," then accidentally said "I love you" like they were talking to their dad.
I love you too.
Oh shit!
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
But the funny, but like one thing I did notice when I Googled Charlestown, so I don't know, and then also like I sent you another article about Charlestown where it was like, people were like, don't portray us like we're all criminals.
Also, all the interviews in that article were in the same Dunkin' Donuts.
Mike sent us over the reputable article from Christian Science
Monitor.
Yeah.
That's a real magazine. But
I couldn't find much about these guys. I couldn't because I Googled. So there was a heist where two armored car drivers got killed execution style, which that was kind of interesting to me because I was like, well, what did they say to do that?
What did they say?
I don't know.
I think that what happened is one of them saw their face.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Hopefully they didn't just say something wrong like.
Yeah, the guy went to high school with him or something.
Fucking Mondays. What did you say?
Yeah.
Garfield talking motherfucker.
But yeah, so like we started with the town and then we tried to find like the story behind it. And it turns out like, at the beginning of the movie, it claims like, like this is a breeding ground for thieves and like they're like 300. I forget the number.
300 bank robberies a year or something like that, right?
Yeah. But if you look it up, that's not
true.
Correct at all.
It's not even that many. They're like 300 bank robberies a year it's all people from Charlestown. They're like, actually in the greater Boston area, there were like 20 attempted bank robberies last year. It's like, okay.
Right.
They juiced it for Affleck.
Right.
He was embellishing.
So I was like trying to find.
But somebody was like, they should make something nice about Charlestown.
Yeah.
I dig through the trash for doll parts and sell them on Craigslist. Why don't you make a movie about me?
Yeah. At the film's premiere, Affleck made a similar statement. Charleston isn't full of bank robbers and Dorchester isn't full of bad guys. Southie isn't full of math geniuses or bad people.
I like that he was like, not a lot of geniuses in Southie or bad people. It's, no, so, just regular folks.
Right.
They're not that smart, but they're not monsters.
This is based on a book called Prince of Thieves from 1995, and it's based on that story of the two guys you were saying in that execution. Like they had a crew together that was like, it seemed like they had a good crew. Mm-hmm. There was like a little bit of like the secrecy. Nobody was allowed to talk in the city from fear of reprisal from these guys. And like I felt like it was like half bullshit and half like a real story,
Right. You mean the movie or just like the legend of these guys?
The legend of these guys, yeah.
That makes sense.
So you said you just downloaded Heat to watch?
I did. I haven't watched it yet, but I have it for the next flight.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
Yeah, that movie. I guess it was a big deal when it came out. It's like it's the first time Pacino and De Niro are together. So De Niro is a bank robber in that, and he like has this like one room apartment with no furniture in it. And I think that is how you have to like be a criminal. But then it's like you got to be like Gus from Breaking Bad, where you drive a Toyota and just But then it's like, what do you spend your what do you do with your
Just
money?
work at the bank then.
Right.
You're like, I have $6 million and I sleep on a futon.
And it's in cash. Yeah. I have, because I've been doing some moving work. I have like $3,000 in cash, but I don't want to deposit it. So I'm like, well, I guess I could. I don't know. I guess I have to like buy groceries and just get a nice rug or something. It's like kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
of it,
and that's. Do you have like back taxes, or you just don't trust the bank?
I just don't want to have to claim that money.
I understand. Yeah,
Okay.
it's off the books.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's not.
I don't wanna get audited.
That's no bank robbery money.
No.
No offense.
What?
No offense.
No.
I don't mean to belittle your.
Right.
Hey, please belittle it.
Just like,
Please motivate me out of this fucking.
just if you robbed a bank and you're like, man, this is like $3,000. I mean, I guess I need a new laptop, but there's easier ways.
Now split that 5 ways.
Yeah.
You can get a fucking Chromebook or something. You can get an iPhone.
One time I was in Manhattan. I was walking to the L, and there was a guy on the street, and he was just going, Apple laptop, and I was like, oh no thanks, I'm okay. I didn't really put it together. It was probably stolen.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Just like that you would sell someone cocaine on the street in the same way as you're like, I can get a laptop in a store. Like the reason that you sell,
but it's cool. You go into McDonald's and buy it, somewhere safe.
yeah.
It's actually safer to buy a laptop on the street than it is in McDonald's. Who's gonna protect you?
Yeah.
In McDonald's. Yeah. But so what I thought was kind of funny about Charlestown was that it does look like kind of nice,
Yeah.
and maybe it is the element of crime where it's like people have money, so it does kind of like empower the community.
Totally. I wonder, there might be some of that. I think it's just all like Boston is like spreading out so much. Everything is just getting like, it's like the same way New York is. Everything's just getting so expensive.
Yeah.
That even the bank robbers are moving further out of the city.
Right.
They're just robbing suburban banks.
But honestly, doesn't that feel like every city in America, like except Detroit?
Mm-hmm. There's a few places like that feel different and feel like they haven't been claimed. Like every place just like it feels like not even just like a Bank of America that you'd go into, but like the Bank of America corporate office is what I envision, like the center of every city. It's like, I don't know, those don't need to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, it's like sometimes you'll do a gig in like the Midwest or something, and you'll be in like, like Milwaukee or like Madison, Wisconsin. They're like, yep, it's getting pretty expensive here. It's just,
like it's like a $6 sandwich.
It's not that, but it's like not that much cheaper than New York. It just
right,
like
and that's wild when you're in a place where there are just like, I mean, I feel like the people in the field that we work in, it's like advantageous to be here, right? Because there's opportunity here, specifically in industry like comedy and television and stuff. But like, if you could live anywhere and everywhere is getting too expensive, that's like really fucked and scary. It feels like, right? You're just like, I don't know, man. I just like wanted to live a life and like have a couple kids, and now I have to move 60 miles outside the city.
Die in an Amazon warehouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's exactly it.
Because I think Amazon just raised their wages to like $15 an hour or something. But then what is that after taxes? That's like 12 or 10 an hour.
Yeah,
right. So that means you're netting like $80 a day.
It's pretty brutal.
$400
and
a
it was
week.
so much lower before that too. It's
Yeah.
He could use a little softness to him. Like he looks as evil as he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't trust any computer expert who gets jacked in his 50s. Like, what do you know that's coming? Like, what are you preparing for?
He's like 70. Because you see pictures like, this is Jeff Bezos in 1994.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's 50. He's like a balding. Yeah.
And now he looks like J.K. Simmons in the X-Men. Just like ripped. What are you doing? Are you going to fight
No,
Beast?
he was injected with something.
Jeff Bezos. Yeah. He and Elon Musk just like sit injecting each other with the blood of various humans and animals.
All right. Bring me another baby. But do you think that sometimes crime is a way for people in the lower class to empower themselves? Because I feel like when you look back, you know, in the past, you had like Irish immigrants, Italian immigrants,
Sure.
Jewish immigrants, and they were kind of kept out of stuff. So, people were racist to them somehow, which I think that's always funny. Racism among whites,
white
like
white on white racism.
Yeah, like how do you even tell? First of all,
right. Very weird.
like it's funny how like Serbs and Croats and they're all super prejudiced against each other.
Right, against the people you live near that are just slightly different
They
than
look
you.
exactly like you.
I will also say the other kinds of racism, I'm not like, yeah, I get it. You know, I'm not, yeah, I get why you'd hate Chinese people. But I do understand that it's like, it looks, you're like, what, how, him? That's just you, but over there.
Yeah. But I guess like looking back at it, like you did really have these like marginalized groups, and I guess I don't know, maybe robbing a bank was a way to like, because then you have these other people who are like, we're not all criminals, and it's like, yeah, okay, maybe you own a diner, but that's why you're doing better because bank robbers come in, so you're kind of like benefiting from, you know.
I do know.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Do you want to get into the real crew, this real bank robbing crew? Get some names and some facts out there.
Yeah, let's do that. But let's also talk about why people during a heist. Oh wait, so I want to talk about Heat. So there's in the movie Heat, there's a guy, like a newcomer who like joins the crew. Can I give away
That's
a
okay.
piece of the movie? Okay, so he's this like psychopath who like he kills a couple security guards or something, and then Robert De Niro gets mad at him because he's like, that's not how we do things. But then there's another scene where like the guy is with a prostitute, a black prostitute, and it's implied that he kills her. And then when they show her body, she's got straight hair before she dies, and then when they show her body, her hair is braided. And like, I guess they clearly forgot what her hair looked like.
What a
in the
weird
previous,
continuity error.
but it kind of looks like he killed the guy, and then like he killed the lady and like braided her hair.
That's very fucked up.
Yeah,
That's like, oof, that's even worse than just killing somebody.
yeah.
Killing somebody's bad. Don't do it. But don't stick around and groom them afterwards.
Yeah, I know. No, it's funny because there's a scene where they find this girl's body, and the mom comes. She's like, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby?" And Al Pacino's like consoling her because he's the cop. But the whole time you're thinking like, "Why is her hair different?"
Yeah. Did he style her?
He styled her.
I'm a
Yeah.
murderer
She's
slash
like,
stylist.
Wait, she didn't go out with that earlier.
Yeah, it's like one of those dolls where you can, you know, but
Brush
it's
it,
a
yeah.
dead hooker. All right.
Dead hooker Barbie.
All right. So how about this, Josh? Why do people feel like they have to be heroes during a bank robbery?
That's a good question. I don't know. Because I do. I feel like you just kind of let the bank robbery happen.
Yeah.
I don't want any trouble in a bank robbery.
Yeah.
You gotta, first of all, it's not your money, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, why were you late? And you're like, oh, you just teed me the fuck up. I'll tell you why I'm half an hour late to brunch or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. I
am hungry.
Yeah.
it's because I
You
understand.
almost died and you order waffles.
Yeah, somebody's like later than you from the train. Like, you will not believe what I
the
went
fucking
through.
Q train. You're like, oh. And then you tell the story again. Everybody who's already heard it is like, oh. It's for your one friend who's super late. But yeah, it's so weird. I mean, I understand like stepping in to stop like a street robbery more than like a bank robbery.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
100%.
It's like, oh, this person is like, they're endangering someone. You don't know what's happening here. But like a bank robbery, you're just like, well,
It's
I
not
clearly
even your business.
Yeah.
None of your business.
Yeah, I was taken by it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah.
I was taken by surprise.
What if someone took something of yours? What if someone grabbed your iPad or your laptop or something? Would you think you would chase after them?
Yeah, probably, but
Yeah.
like it would be embarrassing because I'm not in great cardiovascular
Right,
shape.
yeah, same here.
So it'd
Hey.
be like they'd have my stuff and I'd be winded. Just like, you beat me twice.
Yeah.
Just like, well, why'd you stop?
And then if you're with your wife, she looks at you like, "Don't be a cuck, honey.
Yeah.
Go get your laptop back."
No, my wife would be like, that guy's gonna murder you if you chase him. You
Right.
stay here. Well, your birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
We'll get you a new cuck iPad.
You know, that's also covered by renter's insurance.
It's a cuck-proof
Is it
iPad.
really?
Yeah.
What is?
Or at least through mine.
Oh, your iPad?
Yeah, like just electronics and stuff. I was like, so if I got mugged, like I like posed an elaborate
When you went in to buy
scenario.
the insurance policy?
Hey, I was on the phone, but yeah.
You're just like, so if I go, you're like, anyway, that's what happened, let's say.
Yeah. So I need to make a claim.
Yeah. So what's covered? Just show me the menu.
I had my laptop stolen off a plane, which is like, and because I left it on the plane, and I was like, oh, my laptop. Oh
Yeah.
shit, I forgot my laptop. And they were like, we got to wait till everyone's off the plane first.
Yep.
I'm like, fine, because who steals when they're flying?
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Like,
Yeah.
who steals from the airport?
Yeah.
But at what point is it stolen when you're not there? Because it's tough to say stolen when you weren't there.
I wouldn't call it a
Even when I
heist.
wasn't
I would say stolen.
All right, boys, we've assembled a crack team.
We'll wait and see if someone leaves a laptop.
yeah. That's a 2013 MacBook Air. We're gonna take it from that comedian. He's got 5 years of sketches that never got him a job, and we're gonna steal them.
Suddenly, the fucking British robber gets hired by SNL.
SNL announces new. It's like a Noah Finkelstein, Ashley Gaithersburg, and what's the guy's name? Scuzz from the north end.
Ginklesberg.
From the whatever thing. Was. Oh, thank you. It's an honor to be writing at SNL.
Now what about just pitching sketches that are all just ways to rob the host?
Yeah.
What if Kanye West left his wallet in his dressing room? That'd be funny.
He always pitches with the switchblade.
It's me, Pitchblade.
That job could have been mine. The guy who stole my laptop.
I could have brought a knife to the writer's room.
Ah, damn it. SNL is shaking things up by hiring Ben Kingsley from Sexy Beast to Guy Ritchie character.
Ben Kingsley from Sexy Beast is an excellent deep cut heist movie reference.
Thank you.
I love that movie.
I love that movie.
So good.
Yeah.
So underrated.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie? The guy who played
No, I
Gandhi
haven't
plays
seen
like
it,
a gangster, and like his first.
No, I know Ben. Yeah, Ben.
It's like a fucking awesome, like slow paced heist movie. It's like very cool and different.
He's always bad in every movie. Is he a good guy in this one?
Let's see. When did
He starts out good and then turns bad.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
Gandhi. He
give him-
played a bad guy.
Yeah, real bad.
That's the only one.
A
Okay.
piece of shit. Wasn't Gandhi like a piece of shit though? Wasn't there a thing
I
that
think
came
there's like stuff about his personal life that doesn't quite line up with the activism. It's
Those guys are always
I
like
feel
that.
like he might have been into
They're always
women.
performative.
Like-
he might have been into women.
Martin Luther King Jr. That's just purely just
Wait,
talking
what?
shit.
You're like trying not to get
Yeah, I'm
sued.
trying to start
not to
shit.
get sued by Gandhi.
The podcast gets sued by Gandhi's family.
The Gandhi crime family is very upset
thank
by
you.
what
Welcome.
you said.
Welcome to Martin Luther King the Third versus Matt Anderson.
Very gentle. You phrased it very gently too. You're like liked women. I mean, I don't want to say anything.
Martin Luther King's son's like, I'm gonna fucking destroy you. I'm gonna take everything you have, you motherfucker.
Oh
He
boy.
gets sued by the Gandhi family.
Yeah, is that covered? Is renter's insurance covered getting sued by Martin Luther King Jr. the Third? Wait, I mean Martin Luther King the Fourth? The Third. I don't know. Which one is
I
it?
love
No, it's
Martin
the
Luther
third.
King Jr. the Third is like truly tremendous, and I would not have gotten it if you had been like, wait, what number?
God damn it.
Please edit that out.
just taking you for all you're worth for this podcast. It's like, and then part of the settlement, he's like, and I get to throw mayo at you.
That's an Allstate commercial. Like, just in case. Hey, I'm Mayhem. You're being sued by Martin Luther King. You said some shit on your podcast.
Oh my God.
You said some shit on your podcast. Now you're getting sued by Martin Luther King III. We got you covered.
Just like the families of all sorts of great activists suing this podcast over and over. They're getting. You know
I gotta write that down. That's
Sally Ride, the first woman in space. Yeah, her son is coming after you, and he is not happy.
Sally Ride, she had 2 pussies, didn't she?
Her grandchildren are listening right now. Like, these sorry sons of bitches aren't going to know it.
Oh my God. You know what? And they probably just hired somebody to listen to all the podcasts looking for defamation lawsuits.
It's like, those Liberty Mutual commercials. Like, you're doing your racist podcast again, and you make a offhanded comment about Martin Luther King III. Now he's suing you. We got you covered.
First of all, you shouldn't. Don't do that, insurance company.
Right.
Is that covered on renter's insurance?
No, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they cover that.
Yeah.
Guy on the phone. We don't cover that. Death to America, I love you. Just callbacks for no reason.
Gondelman, how's your Twitter? Is it clean?
In terms of what?
Have you scrubbed it?
Do you think? Yeah. Are you worried about anything coming back, or even anything you've said on stage or on podcasts?
There's a few things. I mean,
because I went through a real men's rights activism period a few years ago, and I feel like I'm still paying for it.
I feel like there's stuff like I've looked back through it, and it's certainly like, I'm like, oh, I don't think I would say that now. But some of it is like, everything has come a ways since like I think we're going to have to decide what to do about like things that were, you look back 10 years ago. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I regret saying that. It was like not the right thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then like what you do from there. And I think I mean, legitimately the answer might just be like, we all have to delete all our social media. Yeah. But like, I've like looked back a little bit just in case, like, cause there are people that like those far right lunatics who will go, this person made one joke in 2008 and now we're going to get them fired. And I was like, well, I'll check through to see if there's anything I can anticipate that would get me fired.
Right.
And it didn't turn up much, but like I'm still like, oh, what if I didn't think about this thing? Like I was responding to this topical event and now it looks wacky out of context.
Yeah.
So I generally keep it pretty clean, but like there's certainly a chance that I said something I regret in the last 10 years. I don't want to say like, sure, I've never done that.
Yeah. There has to be.
And you have that joke about like your daughter in the Bolt bucket, and like AI and robots and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, so that's like in the same world of like, you can say like having sex with a robot now is like, you can make fun of it all you want, but like in the future, like that'll be like almost like as big as much as a person.
Yeah, but I think that's consent. Oh yeah, you're right. Shit. I'm gonna be like, it was a different time. We had different attitudes towards sex with robots. I'm sorry.
We thought it was funny.
I'm sorry for the robot. I have to go on like a Al Sharpton apology tour with like robots. Some robots like, why would you say? Look at that's my daughter. Why would you say that?
A very funny thing would be apologizing to a robot, and they're like, we don't believe you. It's like, well, you're a robot. Say it with feeling.
You just throw water on it and run away.
That's a future hate crime.
I know. Can you? Back in 2018, Mike Recine had a podcast where he joked about throwing water on a robot and running away.
Oh, you got to look back further. You're going to find way worse stuff on Mike Recine.
But you know what's funny? Like I just imagine like somebody like getting famous and they're like, all right, let's dig up some old tweets, and then I'll find any tweets and like, all right, let's listen to every podcast appearance he's ever been, and they start in 15 minutes and like, I can't fucking do this. It's too much.
Was this a woodworking podcast?
Stay on topic.
It's supposed to be about crime. They're talking about different kinds of saws.
Yeah. They keep talking about all their fans that want Shelby to peg Matt on the Patreon.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I said peg.
Oh yeah, Matt gets pegged by his girlfriend
on the Patreon.
Yeah. I mean,
wait, what? What are you doing on that Patreon? You gotta give me access to that Patreon.
Well, when you pay $200 a month, you can watch Matt get pegged.
I mean,
all right, so yeah, bank robbery, armored car. Let's see, people in armored cars being heroes, getting what they deserve.
Getting what they deserve. Very matter of fact on that tone. People opening their fucking mouths after they were told not to.
Yeah. No, that wasn't cool. These armored car drivers got got killed.
Yes,
but, you know, those
but-
guys are just after the power anyway.
I
Armored
mean,
car drivers?
I disagree with you there.
Yeah, people like
I
armored
think-
car guards.
I think at a certain point you're empowering yourself, but you get addicted to this like a drug. So like it says they committed over 55 of these armored car crimes, you know, and like you know, these are like violent, you know, they like hitting people in these cars and shit. So like I think like bank rob once, you're pretty set. You know, that's a high paying job.
Shame on you.
Yeah,
exactly. Man.
But no, I agree with you. I feel like there must be something. If you're doing 55 bank robberies, it's like, yeah, you probably like the part where you punch a guy in the stomach and go, don't fucking say shit, right?
And then you got to keep punching older and older people until you're punching 100-year-old guys. Because you just can't get your fix on regular people anymore. Like, I need an older man to punch so I can feel like myself.
Older being the only thing that does it. You're like, well, what if we tried fighting a stronger guy? No.
Let's find a place that has more money. It's like, no.
Just older people.
Wait, how about this? Punch 2 guys. And that doesn't do it.
That's
for
just
me.
like one guy twice. I don't know what you don't get about this. Yeah, very weird. I was just reading, I don't mean to drag us off topic. My
Please.
favorite Boston crime ever is the Gardner Museum heist, which I don't know if it's technically organized crime because they never solved it. Do you guys know about this one?
Josh, that doesn't really fit the theme of our show.
Okay.
So Josh, that's a little too off topic for us.
No, you send us over.
It's a really good table earlier. I did. I sent over the thing, but I've been obsessed with it for a long time. It's like super fascinating. It is the biggest unsolved art heist in the world, and it's like,
I started listening to that on my way home from finding out I don't have Lyme disease.
so you're in a good mood when you started.
And that's like including like World War II stuff.
I think you know what? I don't know if they count like the stuff Nazis stole as an art heist. I feel like that's kind of like a gentle term for that.
It's like the
No. I'm
Kill
a
Bill music,
Holocaust
like-
denier because it's an art heist.
It's just Nazis. Like, give me that art. It's going into some family. Can I help you, gentlemen?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I feel like the third heist was really where they took it too far. But no,
What were the Nazis doing with art, by the way? They just wanted it.
I think it was worth a lot of
All
money.
art is made by Jews and homosexuals, the people that you hate. What are you doing with art then?
Maybe they just didn't want anybody else to see it.
Yeah.
They're like, that's too beautiful. They'll know it was done by a Jew.
Yeah.
Right, they had to scrub the world of all the positive things Jews have done.
Then they'll be sad. They'll be like, I remember Jews. It was nice when there were some Jews. But yeah, I think I would not count the war crimes committed by the Nazi regime as an art heist.
I'm so glad you pointed that out because I would have been like, there's a lot of expensive art taken.
Will they pull it off?
Also, yeah, I would call World War II, in terms of art heists, unsuccessful. But yeah, it's crazy. They I don't want to need to go through the whole thing, but it was the night. It was the like late at night coming out of St. Patrick's Day, and I've learned some of the specifics from this podcast.
When was it? It was in the 90s?
1990. Yeah, so 28 years ago, they stole art that's now valued at
I was on my first abortion in 1990. Go ahead.
A little factoid thrown in there, yeah.
Fun fact.
just like a history, just for historical context, so the listeners can place it in time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like prehistoric ages, kind of all my abortions.
I'm just hoping you're gonna talk about like the art in the abortion doctor's office or something.
He's got the
Tied
dogs
together.
playing poker. That's how I know he's a good abortion doctor. All right. You know what? I'm going to go with you. I feel a connection.
He likes to gamble. I like to gamble. But this $500 million worth of art, and that's what it's valued now. And it was, two thieves, just
$500 million.
$500 million. And it's 13 objects, art objects. I'm obsessed with it. And somebody tweeted at me this morning that there's this. I don't mean to plug other podcasts on your podcast. It's called Last Scene, and it's really cool. It's like in the. And it's still in progress, but like I've been obsessed with it. It's like I love an art heist. It's just like such a fucking like a fancy crime.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
what's like the logistics of even getting the money is like, where do you sell
because you have to
that?
sell it to someone who both loves art and is totally cool with crime.
Stolen art.
Yeah. It's just like with like $500 million worth of art, and they're just
You're not selling it for $500 million.
No,
you
that's
got to
true.
sell it for like half of that.
yeah, you got to go low.
It's like
on
a
that.
chain.
Yeah,
Because they know they kind of have you, right? They're like, well, who are you going to sell it to? Because everyone knows that the most famous Rembrandt in the world didn't just like you didn't inherit it.
Right,
you know what I mean? But I'm like fascinated by that crime.
Now let me ask you this: what is it that makes certain pieces of art so valuable? I mean, like maybe like for the time, or
yeah, I guess it's like how scarce the work of an artist is, and like how the renown that it has, like kind
cultural
of what it's
significance.
Yeah,
right?
What it's
because
an example of.
who's the Renaissance artist that his name starts with a G or something, and he's like German, and he became famous in his early 20s for like wood carvings. So he was like carving stuff into wood, right? But this is like back in like the 1500s, right? And I mean, you saw my workbench that I made in there. It's fine, but just chopping up those little boards. I mean, it's hard to get a straight cut, and I have an electric saw.
He didn't have that.
Yeah,
this guy was. That's what it was. Because he did it by hand.
Mr. Richter,
Matt, Jesus fucking Christ! I mean, can you try? Can you at least fucking try? Yeah, the Renaissance artist who's got a picture, who's wearing glasses and
who has
holding
headshots.
it's professional headshots, color headshots, and he's.
It must have been hard.
There is an egg on my face right now.
He's eating. He's holding a fucking
McRib.
He's got a cup from Panera Bread.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. The browns in the painting is actually the sauce.
He's got a sweater from J. Crew on. Yeah,
It must have been hard to be an artist back then because you need to find a different artist to paint your headshots by hand.
Right.
And you're like, if they look really good, people are just like, oh, that guy's art. That guy's really good.
As soon as I saw your face, I knew I fucked up somehow. This guy, there's a picture of him. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, this is the thing with Matt is like he really is like trying, to shoulder some of the burden of this podcast, but he also like. He's just too Midwestern to ever
like Matt had me at Martin Luther King Jr. the third.
So 40 minutes in,
it took me a while.
Okay,
I got there.
Good.
But I think that's the right impulse. But definitely, a guy who that says shot on my iPhone 10. I feel like it was not in the Renaissance.
We're like, what if you got sued by Martin Luther King III? Matt's like, what? Burger King?
Burger Luther King the third.
Wait, I'm gonna find this guy just because I wanna. Shit. It's German. He's a German guy. Fuck. But anyway, when you start, I'm just saying, when you start making stuff out of wood and shit like that, it's really fucking hard. And this guy did this in the 1500s.
Yeah. Back then, he just had other wood to use to cut the wood.
Yeah,
it's just wood on wood.
He used his cock.
That's why it's worth so much.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's a different time.
Wait, who the hell is this guy? Dursig?
I don't know.
No, but this is the guy. But okay.
Dave Navarro.
Yeah, Dave Navarro just gets reincarnated over and over again.
He always has the same beard. That's how you know. This is our reboot of.
He's just showing up through history a bunch of times.
Quantum Leap, where it's just all Dave Navarro.
Albrecht Dürer. That's the guy.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess that art is valuable because, it's like it hadn't been done before. But you're right. Stealing art is very interesting.
It's like really wild too. But like you were saying, with the money too, right? Like it's an inconvenient crime,
right?
It doesn't convert readily. And even if you stole, right, you can sell a laptop on the street.
You sure can.
You can't sell a Rembrandt on the just like. I got Rembrandts.
Yeah.
I got Monets. You just can't, like, the street value is not that high.
Yo, this looked like shit. Yeah. So what happened? So what have you? What's interesting about that? It's never been solved.
Unsolved to this day, and it's so much money. It was so much valuable art, and also the museum is really cool. It was this like wealthy Bostonian woman just like bequeathed her whole house and all the art in it to be a museum, and she was like, and don't touch anything, just like leave it where it is. So they don't acquire new art, they just like leave it. So I think this could be me misremembering, but I think places where the art was stolen, there's just nothing there now.
Because fuck, that's cool.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it's just like a very cool museum, and it's just like, it's not organized by time period. She was just like, here's how I like to hang my art, and that's a museum now, which is awesome. And so I really like it, and I like that story, and it's like a very weird Boston thing, and I'm like very latched onto that because that's such a fucking Boston thing. It's just like, yeah, I fucking hung him up, don't touch him, I already did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just like love that kind of shit.
I feel like it would be funny if her husband was like, why don't we put up the paintings in alphabetical order? It's like DVDs to her.
Oh, you fucking idiot. I put them how I like them. The red one's in there.
It's kind of the cool thing about art, because like I enjoy bad art as much as I like good art. Right?
Yep.
Because I like looking at a piece of bad art. Like me and Deb went to Asheville a couple years ago.
Yep.
And we went to this like vegan restaurant. And we like got into a fight at the register, if you can believe it. And she's like, "You didn't ask me what I wanted." She's I don't know. Something's gonna give pretty soon with this fucking woman, because but like, I don't know. Does your wife do this where Deb's like, "You always pick the restaurant and where we eat," and then I'll be like, "All right, where would you like to eat tonight?" And then I'm like, "What do you want?" And she's like, "Don't put all this pressure on me."
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, that sounds like a stereotypical, that sounds like a complaint that like a hack comic has,
but it's like,
I'm like living a shitty comic's life.
No, but that kind of stuff happens. I get that.
Yeah.
I've had relationships where it's been like that. I'm not like that with my wife currently.
Yeah. Okay.
But I feel you on that.
Thanks.
I don't want to hang you out to try to be like, no, it's just you. It is only you that's ever felt that. It's you and Kevin James.
Your spirit animal.
You're saying Asheville.
Oh, so we're in Asheville and we got into a fight in line. She's like, "Can you?" And I forget what happened, but the guy behind the counter was like, something happened where like he like put his hands up and he's like, "You guys don't have to fight." He like made an X with his hands, like, "You don't have to fight," in this vegan restaurant, and we were like, yeah,
united.
Then we united it. Yeah.
The Recine front to make fun of them.
Yeah, but there was this really shitty art on the wall. It was like this this drawing of like these like people that were like, but it looked very like bleak.
Yeah,
you know. And I just remember thinking like, oh, this is bad. And whoever drew this thought it was good.
Yep.
But it's not. But art is kind of like, it's almost like an equalizer, right? Where it's like anybody can like use a colored pencil,
totally,
or paint. But then it's the choices that you make, with the thing,
and
then some paintings sell for $1.5 million,
and then other ones just hang on the wall of the vegan restaurant forever,
right? Forever. Yeah,
it's like The Shining.
Yeah,
it's like the vegan Shining.
Yeah.
You were always here.
I wish I had enough clout that, like, after I die, I could just make sure a house stayed the same way.
Right.
That would feel cool as you die.
It would be cool just to be a homeowner. I feel that. Yeah. That's like what our dreams are. Like, we're talking about this museum and we're all just like, yeah, what's it like to own a home? We have
nobody touch my ALF cards.
Yeah.
Right. The only chance I'll get to nobody ever moving my stuff is if I'm a hoarder and the building is condemned.
Nobody touch my stuff.
But it's, I felt like we were talking Boston crime. I just wanted to inject that story.
No, of course.
I really like it.
I feel like the Thomas Crown affair is based on that, maybe?
Oh, I don't know. That could be true.
Yeah, the Pierce Brosnan art heist movie.
What was Ocean's 11? That's a art heist.
Those casino, right? Andy Garcia owned a casino.
Yeah, I don't think
it was. What the fuck am I saying?
Maybe one of them. But there's been like a million Oceans.
Right.
Yeah, they've been. Yeah, maybe there was an art Oceans.
Yeah.
But the first one I think was Andy Garcia and the casino.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. which they had a budget for actors. You think they probably tried to get Al Pacino in the casino, but there he was like, no, and they're like, Garcia, we got it.
Well, he's in Ocean's 13.
Is he in Ocean's 13?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
He
know
plays
that.
a casino
Oh
owner
boy.
in that one, yeah.
They
must
upgraded
have
the
started running
casino
out of money.
owners.
Yeah.
But yeah, De Niro in Heat doesn't have any furniture in his house. And it's like, well, then why are you robbing banks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You can do stand-up comedy if you don't have furniture in your house.
All right, Matt, make a note of this part in the show because I want us to figure out what we're going to talk because I guess we're going to wrap up in like 10 minutes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I
that's
mean, I was
cool.
about
So
to ask you because you're at an hour and 10.
we're at an hour and 10.
Yeah.
We, okay.
But yeah, 5-10 more minutes, I think, is good.
Okay.
Great.
What do you want to spend the next 5 or 10 minutes talking about? We could talk about, because didn't your show do a thing about Kavanaugh?
Yeah.
We could talk about Kavanaugh if you want, or we could talk about Whitey Bulger, or we could talk about.
I say
the
holding
patriarchy
off on
thing.
Whitey Bulger because that's
Let's hold
big.
off on that. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
that could be its own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk about the patriarcha family and just like their like rise to power?
I'd like to. I don't know much about it, but I think it would be interesting.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like all is it, like the thing that sucks about researching mob stuff is like if you find one source, it's like you always have to read another source, and then they always contradict each other. So it's all about like which one's more
Sure.
good for our narrative here.
Yeah, it's more
Or
about like
which
our
one's more
takes and like
believable.
the stuff about Martin Luther King III.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Okay, so the rise to power.
All right. So
This is a lot.
yeah, I know. I don't know if we're gonna have a ton of time to, but I have a specific point that I want to make about it. So
Okay.
we got to wrap up in a little bit. But Matt did some research about the patriarcha crime family.
Yep.
From Providence, Rhode Island.
Right.
And one thing that you put in your notes was that around some time, like a bunch of guys started to like acquire power in in Providence, and they were like, "We're in charge now." And I think kind of like the funny thing about leadership is like when you have like leadership is kind of a funny thing because you would think anybody can do it, but most people don't want the responsibility, and most people don't want. They just don't know how to do it or how to handle power. And also you have to have like the kind of personality where people are okay to be led by you, right? So like I feel like to lead, you do have to have some intelligence and some
Tact, I feel.
and some tact and some you have to like care about people a little bit, or at least act like you care about
Yeah.
people, right?
I think so.
And do you think maybe that's kind of like Trump's appeal, where people do really feel like he cares about them?
Yeah, I think that he is good at giving off that impression,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he also like he is kind of like talking to people who feel like they are not cared about and not spoken to very often, and I think that's probably a big part of his appeal.
Yeah.
It's like he has like a charisma,
Mhm.
and then he talks to people and goes like, "Hey, the thing that's you're hurting, and
Yeah.
and it's going to be better," and like that's like a generous thing to say to people, and then there's the racism, and
Yeah,
so like
right.
those three factors I think are really they do a lot for him.
Sure. Yeah, I just feel like that's a funny thing where it's like you can't just be like if you want to lead, you can't just be like a ruthless person. Like we talked about this last week with the Sopranos episode, but there's a scene in Sopranos where like Tony's uncle tells him like, "Oh, if you do this, then the guys aren't going to trust you, and then if you go back on your decision, you're going to have a mutiny on your hands. So they're going to think you're indecisive." So I feel like leading is this really delicate thing where it's like not everybody can do it.
Yeah.
And I think we're in a field where like we don't really have that. Like we don't really have people that are in charge or whatever.
Totally.
I feel like the next closest thing is a head coach for a football team. And maybe even
Yeah.
like a basketball team, but less so with the basketball team. Like a head coach on a football team, it's like everything. They're like in charge of all operations. They need to make sure like
The head coach of the football team.
yeah, like people coming
We're
up
Jets fans,
are
so
taken care of.
we've been sort of plagued by not very good head coaches.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
rough. And
but
we've had a shot at like really good coaches, and we just whiff every time.
Well, what do you have to be a good leader? You have to be humble. You have to be confident. You have to have empathy for other people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think like adaptable, right? Listening to and intuiting people's needs, and then like being responsive to that, but also also like you were saying, having like being okay taking the responsibility and being like, if this goes badly, it's on me, and like I'm strong enough to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
And if this goes well, I will not hoard all the resources myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think that a lot of people who think they are good at leadership are monsters. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's the people who can't do it because they're like, oh, I don't feel prepared for this occasion, and I will shrink from it. It's not a responsibility I want. And then there's the people that are like, I'm gonna crush this. And
Yeah.
you're like, probably you won't. Like, you're too confident.
Yeah, I think there's some quote where it's like the people who are least suited for power are the best at taking
Yeah,
it.
because they want it.
Yeah.
And it looks the same, right, for a while.
Mhm.
They're like, hey, I'm gonna fix this. And like, maybe he's gonna fix
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Right. Like, do you think that Obama wanted to run for president, or do you think enough people were like, you got to do it? You got to like.
I think he must have wanted to.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, who did he knock out in those primaries?
Hillary Clinton,
Hillary, and who else?
and then the second
just-
one, I think, he was just running as the incumbent.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But no, it was like pretty close between him and Hillary.
Yeah, very close. And like, yeah.
Wasn't Howard Dean involved at some point?
That
Or
was
I'm thinking,
2004.
okay, way before. Okay, cool. Sorry.
He's got a wood carving of him, Howard Dean. The only pictures of him were by German
Matt,
wood
always trying to
carving.
bring up Howard Dean. He's got a secret room in his house where he just chisels an image of Howard Dean going like this.
Yeah, the pia, yeah.
Yeah.
You should have trademarked that word. How
It
smart
was-
would that have
It
been?
was
Yeah.
so funny because everyone hated it so much. I've like never seen people.
It wasn't even that bad.
It was not
though.
that
It was just
bad.
like a little mistake.
No,
yeah.
it just like looked silly. I've never seen people turn harder on a guy for just like. It was like a meme how
Yeah.
stupid it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was. They're just like, he said that dumb thing, and now he'll never be president.
Mhm.
It was like the way people reacted was as if he had like fallen off the stage head first into a bucket of shit.
right.
It was so
And then kind of like the taste of the
yeah,
shit.
yeah. And got out of the bucket, was like, this shit's not bad. And they're like, well, this pervert can't be president.
Ends it with pia.
Yeah.
And then John Kerry's like, why don't you say Pia to John Kerry? 2004.
Say Piat. You guys should get shirts that say that. That's so funny.
Yeah. Well, what did we learn today, guys?
Well, we learned that renter's insurance costs
I did learn that.
costs not a lot of money, and it
covers
covers quite a
muggings.
bit.
Yeah.
I learned that Charlestown doesn't have as many bank robberies as movies about Charlestown would
Yeah.
want you to think.
For sure.
Yeah, that was so funny in that article I sent you guys. Some lady was like, why don't you make a nice movie about Charlestown? Like, people always do that. It's like, that doesn't...
Yeah.
No,
Right.
no movie's about nice things.
Right.
Every movie's about,
But it's
bad
also
stuff.
right. And then there's like a couple like the Ghosts of Girlfriends Past is going to be based on the crime in your city. You're
Right.
like, there's a really good bank robbery. You know who'd be perfect for this? McConaughey and Hudson.
Yeah, Charlestown's like the town that like the famous movie star goes back to before she marries like the president. Like, welcome back to Charlestown.
She's like, nope, I'm going to marry the
The
president.
guy's carving the same piece of wood for 100 years.
How is your wood carving racist?
Still carving with his cock.
Yeah.
What is this, Renaissance Germany?
Oh, that's right. The largest art heist of all time happened in 1944.
Right.
I still take issue with that. Still take issue with that.
Dude, that's really funny to like, you know, like to put that on a Holocaust denier. You're like, oh, you just think it's an art heist. They're like, no.
Of all the ways I've heard someone refer to like that era in history, history's greatest art heist is like a totally bananas one.
Well, I didn't come right out and say that, but
we are going to put off the greatest art heist in history.
Hitler's 11.
Hitler's 11. Yeah.
Oh shit.
All right, boys. Well, this was a good episode with no women on it.
Thanks for being on.
Finally, giving degenerate fans something they want.
I feel like they're not gonna like me either, honestly.
Nah,
no, they're gonna love you.
Thank you for having me. It was a really fun time.
They're pieces of fucking garbage anyway. I hate the people who listen to this show. They're all sacks of shit. Fucking scum of the earth, illiterate fucks.
Hey,
canceling their Patreons on us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to do another episode after Josh leaves. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Am I gonna miss the Mayo-sode?
The Mayo-sode. We have to call it
Why don't you
that.
stick around. All right, Josh. You want to plug anything? You want to say anything? We'll give you the last word, like Bill O'Reilly.
I'm going on the road a bunch in like November, December, and yeah, I'm very excited about it. So a bunch of cities, you can find it at joshgondelman.com. That's Gondel, man. And it would be nice to have you at the shows.
Yeah, and please watch Last Week Tonight.
Yeah, please watch Last Week Tonight.
You know, it's good, and we're in this era of like. I just want to say we're in this era.
Emmy
of,
award
like,
winning.
Thank you.
Who cares about that? Only cucks vote on that shit anyway.
I'm just trying to, trying to suck his dick a second.
Only cucks vote on the Emmys, okay? It doesn't matter. What matters is what Mike Recine thinks of yourself. Let me tell you something.
Is the shelf you put him on.
Yeah. If you got friends who will build you a shelf for free. This is a pretty sturdy shelf, though.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Thanks. The listeners can't see it, but it's a good looking shelf.
Maybe you should hit it with your hand and put the mic close to it for the listener.
It looks both sturdy and it's appealing.
And it's rotting, yeah. You see that, you fucking girls? You fucking... That's a sturdy shelf.
When you say you fucking girls, are you trying to appeal to women with your shelf building skills?
Yeah. We're trying to reach out to a different demographic.
Hey, ladies, this is the podcast that'll build you a shelf.
Shelf building. Even a woman can do it. Follow my simple DIY instructions. Even a girl can. All right. Watch Last Week Tonight. It's a good show. You know, in this world of comedy news shows, it's actually funny.
Thank you.
It's not some retarded Australian person. You know? What's that?
This is Ocean's 11 heist.
Oh,
music.
it is? Yeah, I wanted to play the... Matt, play us out with... My name is... All right, yeah, this is good. My name is Adolf Hitler. And there's one thing I love. It's art. It's art that I steal from Jewish families. All right, who's another character in this movie?
See you later,
Should we just
folks.
end the show? All right,
See you later,
show's
folks.
over. Guys, come see us. Come see us at the Philly Punchline, please, huh? And that's it. Bye-bye.